What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Girl Who Talks Sports, the podcast where we talk sports and other girly things. I am Sam Cardona, finally getting the time to sit down and record a podcast episode. If you are watching right now on the YouTube channel, I'm just winging this. I didn't put any makeup on. I didn't do my hair. I am wearing a Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma Sooners t-shirt jersey. We're just going for it. We're going for straight content here this week. We have a lot of things to go over. I'm very excited to get into this episode. It is just me, so you are going to listen to me rant about football for the next how many ever minutes. But before we get into all of that, I just wanted to let you guys know about Team Clicks, which is the sunglasses company that I am an affiliate for. It is a really great holiday gift. There's still time for you to get your Team Clicks sunglasses. That is Team Clicks with a X at the end. If you go to teamclicks.com/TGWTS and use code LASTCHANCE at checkout before Friday, you will get 30% off of your purchase. It is a great way to show your team on sunglasses, blue blockers, or prescription glasses. The arms come off so that you can replace them with any team you would like. So I highly recommend doing that, and go to the website now. There'll still be time for you to get them in time for Christmas. So please make sure to go out and do that. Again, that's Team Clicks, TEAMCLIX.com/TGWTS and use code LASTCHANCE at checkout for 30% off. Okay, and let's just do a few of our plugs here. Don't forget to subscribe on all podcasting platforms, wherever it is that you get your podcasts from. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, make sure to give us a thumbs up on this video. That'll be very helpful for me. If you haven't already, please follow me on social media at TGWTS Podcast on Twitter. That's where the fun is. That's where a lot of the fun is. More fun can be found on Instagram and TikTok at The Girl Who Talks Sports. So please make sure to check me out there. And my friends, without further ado, I think we should get into this episode. The first thing we'll do, let's see, what are we going to do first? I'm kind of winging it a bit this week. First things first, I'll just do with some breaking news that happened this morning. Today is December 15th. Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield have tested positive for COVID. There have been, I believe, 14 COVID cases on the Cleveland Browns, and which is, not great. That's considered an outbreak, I would assume. But yeah, this is really not the best look here for the Browns. Let's see, confirmed Mayfield, as well as cornerback Troy Hill, safety John Johnson III, defensive tackle Malik McDowell, defensive end. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, pal. I cannot say your name. Efidi Adengabo and safety Nathan Maters were placed on COVID-19 lists on Wednesday. So this is not great, because one of the fun things about the later season of the NFL is the fact that there are games that are not only on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. So this Saturday will be a doubleheader of the Cleveland Browns and the Raiders, and then the Pats and the Colts will be later on that day. So it's not even like Baker and the rest of the Browns have a extra day, even if that would make some sort of difference. I don't think it would, but they're playing Saturday. They're not playing on Sunday. So this is a big deal. It's a kind of a major thing here. There's a lot of things going on also with the boosters, because Kevin Stefanski, that I know of, is vaccinated and has received his booster shot. He's not asymptomatic. He doesn't have any symptoms. He has tested positive for the virus, though, with the booster shot. So I think that there's owners meetings going on today in the NFL in Texas. So I'm sure they're figuring out whatever's going on in the world in terms of COVID. I'm sure that's a major part of this meeting, but that is what's going on with the Browns, and it's not great. There's been, I feel like, a lot of COVID outbreak within the NFL, and not just within the NFL and the NBA as well. Like, it's sports everywhere. It's really unfortunate. So please continue to stay safe out there, friends. Whether you have gotten the Fauci ouchie or not, just please make sure to stay safe and your family stay safe, especially with holidays coming up. So sending good vibes out into the universe. Hopefully not everybody gets COVID. And it's actually kind of ironic that I have a Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma University jersey on today. So I didn't plan that whatsoever. I just happened to just adore Baker Mayfield with all of my being. Okay, next what we're going to do is a quick, like really fast NFL Week 14 recap because we have so much to go over. So this is just a few major points I've pulled out from Week 14. Number 1, are the Chiefs back? I think this is something that a lot of people have been asking themselves over, mostly this week, but over the past couple of weeks for sure. The Chiefs have seemed to kind of be back in that groove where they are kind of in that wavelength of them being the Chiefs again, right? We haven't seen, quote unquote, the Chiefs for a lot of this season. They have a good amount of wins, but you know, the one that I think of specifically because I watched the game with the Giants specifically, the Chiefs won that game, but like it was very obvious that they did not play their best football in that game, and it is very, very possible that the Giants could have won this game. The reason why we're asking it this week in particular is that the Chiefs played the Raiders and they won 48-9. Earlier this season, they put up 41 points against the Raiders, which is insane because of how their defense has looked this year. We thought that the Raiders defense was kind of going to dominate exponentially. However, Patrick Mahomes seems to be their kryptonite. The Chiefs also won the week before against the Broncos, 22-9. So obviously 48 points is much different than 22 points, but still a major win. And it's obvious from both of those points, 9 and 9. That's actually interesting. In the past 2 weeks, then we could say a stat here that the Chiefs defense has allowed 18 points in the last 2 games, which I think is pretty impressive. So that's one thing here. Are they completely back? They might be on the track to be, but for me, I don't see the Chiefs making the Super Bowl this year. With these wins, they're probably going to make the playoffs, but I just don't see them making the Super Bowl. They're not in that Super Bowl way that they were the past couple of seasons. So that's one thing I took from Week 14. Another thing I took from Week 14 here are the Chargers and how freaking awesome they are, okay? I am so excited for Thursday Night Football, speaking of the Chiefs. The Chargers and the Chiefs play each other in a division matchup on Thursday Night Football. I will be rooting for the Chargers. I think it's going to be a very, very good game. I'm like so stoked about it. So I think the Chargers showed this past week against the Giants, and honestly, I obviously don't want to see the Giants lose, but Justin Herbert has looked so great, and he is so phenomenal. I'm going to pull up his stats, actually, for this past weekend, because it has just been... my new thing is I've noticed that the Chargers social media has been referring to him as Herbo, and I think that that is the most amazing thing in the world. So I've been calling him Herbo, because it fits him. It fits him. I just want to hold his face in my hands and tell him how proud I am of him. So let's see. Chargers versus the New York Giants. So for 31 attempts, he completed 23 passes, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 133.1 passing rate. It is, did he rush at all? Let's see. He took 4 rushes for 19 yards. Pretty good. I think Justin Herbert has just been on fire, and it also helps the fact that, you know, someone like Austin Eckler is your running back. So you got your throw game down with Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen back there catching these amazing passes from Justin. And Austin Eckler, I have Austin Eckler on my fantasy team, and it has been stellar. He's been fantastic. So I think that the Chargers are on their way to be an exponentially great team. I feel like this division is really going to turn into a Chiefs-Chargers showdown every year to find out who is going to win. The Raiders really, I think once Carr is gone, they're going to have to kind of start from the beginning with their new coach as well, whether it's, I forgot what the Raiders coach's name. It's something super Italian or, what is his name? Bisaccia, Rich Bisaccia. So I know that he's the interim coach right now. I've heard that they like him, that they might keep him around, which would be cool. So that is what I'm feeling from this division specifically. But I don't think the Raiders are going to be as strong as people are expecting them to be. So that is what I got from there. Let's see what else. We're going to go over just quickly 3 games from this week that I thought were the best games of the week. Obviously, Bills, Bucks, for those that have been watching the show for quite some time know that this was my Super Bowl prediction way before in August. I won't lie, I was severely disappointed in the beginning of this game. I was like, come on, like this should have been like the game of the year. We should have been super like into this game. It should have been amazing. And Josh Allen his ears started ringing and heard me complaining from the East Coast because all of a sudden this game turned into something beautiful. And when I say I was in shambles by the end of it, I was like, oh my God, Josh Allen is going to prove himself. Josh Allen is going to prove to the world that this Bills team is, in fact, fantastic and not something to be reckoned with and can beat Tom Brady. And Tom, of course, came out and pulled out this win. But I have to say, Josh, for the fact that they did do what they did, it was all Josh Allen. The Bills team, first of all, no run game. Josh Allen is the run game, right? Josh Allen, whenever he wants to hand off the ball, instead of handing off the ball, he runs it himself, which is not good for him as a quarterback. He should be passing the ball off. Although, you can rush every once in a while, but you shouldn't be the run game as a quarterback. There's no help here. I mean, Diggs is there, and, I know they have a good connection. Sanders is there, and it's just, the run game is not there. And if they had a run game, if they figured everything out, Josh Allen is a great leader. And Josh Allen has been doing everything in his power to win these games. And they've been winning games. But there are definitely games that they should have won that they didn't because not everybody showed up to the game. So I'm just so mad. I really wanted the Bills to win this game so bad. But nonetheless, it was still a fantastic game coming down to the wire at the end. It was great. Along with that game happening at the same exact time was the 49ers-Bengals game going into overtime, which was when I say, I was not breathing during any of this time. And when I tell you I wanted Joe Burrow and the Bengals to pull out this win too, it was like double disappointment at the same time. The Bills were over here losing, coming back and making a name and then losing them by the end of the game. And then the Bengals were over here coming back, making these amazing plays, Joe Burrow, everything. And then the 49ers win. I was like, oh my God, major disappointment all around, just all around. So that game proved to me that I know the Bengals are kind of an up and down team. And I would say you could say that the Chargers are the same way. They're very up and down. It's like you're like, I don't know if they're going to be good this week or if they're going to be bad this week. But the Bengals have the opportunity to take this division, which we're going to talk about the playoff picture a little bit later. They have the opportunity, which is insane because I know that my friend Jordan, Sporty Jordy, has talked about it on our show that we do on Sundays, Fantasy Underdogs, that the Bengals have had the quickest turnaround, I feel like, ever. That they were so bad. Joe Burrow comes in, they look good, he gets hurt, he comes back, and they look great this year. Like, I think that is really telling about a team. So They were someone that I really wanted to win, but unfortunately it didn't happen. I even changed the watch face on my Apple Watch back to my Joe Burrow watch face because I was like, this is it. They're going to win. And it didn't happen. And finally, just quickly, Rams-Cardinals on Monday night was also an amazing game, another division game. The Rams finally looked like the team that they should have looked like this entire year. Like, I know that they have been, they were good at the beginning, and then they kind of fell a little bit. They got Von Miller, they got Odell Beckham Jr., and they were supposed to be this all-time powerful team, and they still weren't looking that good. To be fair, I believe it was Aaron Donald and Matt Stafford. Oh my God. The throws, the plays that were happening, the Van Jefferson touchdown that happened, the Cooper Kupp touchdown. Oh my God, the throws this man was making just blew my mind. And it was absolutely insane and absolutely amazing. And props, Matthew. Absolute props. And props to Aaron Donald as well for being quite literally the most outstanding defensive player I've seen in forever. So that game was very good. I wanted, again, the Rams to win very, very badly, but alas, it had to be to shake up the playoff picture a little bit because Scott Hansen tweeted this out. Scott Hansen said, there is no best team in the NFL this year. And if you think you know, then you don't, was the gist of his tweet. And it's absolutely correct. There are 3 teams in this league that are 10-3. Nobody is better than another person and another team. And I think this is probably one of the closest NFL seasons that I've been alive for, that I've fully immersed myself into, paid attention to completely and fully. It has just been so incredibly amazing. So while I wanted the Cardinals to win, the Rams winning, shaking up the picture a little bit more, it just makes it more exciting. So that is what's going on. That was my quick Week 14 recap there. Before we get into a couple Week 15 games that I'm excited for and a little bit of the playoff picture, we have a segment. We have our first segment on the show and my favorite segment on the show. Oh yeah, it's happening. Tea time. Tea time is my favorite segment on the show because we delve into the hot, steamy gossip of the sports world. And this week, he's back in the news. Incredible. Urban Meyer, the worst NFL coach in the league. I have the Tom Pelissero article in front of me. The tension boiling over between Coach Urban Meyer, Jaguars players, staff, amid their 2-10 start. When I say that this man needs to learn to be quiet, Urban, read the room, pal. Read the room. Learn when to shut your mouth. There has been, this is what I've read from this specific article, which is like the main nucleus of this entire story, if you will. Apart from what happened a month or whatever, I don't even know how long ago this was. When we talked about this, I believe it was with Ruth the Truth, was when Urban did this entire thing with the blonde and the bar in Ohio and all that kind of stuff after they lost, and that wasn't even a win. This is what has happened within the past 2 weeks from sources. I'm just going to read you off what's on this article. The first thing here is receiver Marvin Jones, who is said to be the locker room's most respected and mild-mannered veterans, became so angry with Meyer's public and private criticism of the receiver group that he left the facility until other staff members convinced him to come back and had a heated argument with Meyer during practice. Do you know the amount of money I would have spent to see this happen live with my eyes, with my own 2 eyes? Incredible. There was another time during a staff meeting where Urban was delivering a message that he is a winner and his assistant coaches are losers. Sir, Sir, do you realize you're the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars and you're at 2-10? That has nothing to do with your assistant coaches. Maybe they aren't the best. You know, I can't attest for that. But you're the head coach. You are the person who is running this team. You cannot place blame on other people. Like, the vibes Urban Meyer gives me is the guy from the Titanic who uses a small child to get on a lifeboat to save himself. That's the vibes Urban Meyer gives me. So the fact that he decided to say, I'm a winner. No, sir. You're maybe a winner in college football. You are not a winner in pro football. There are two very different things. You are not a winner, sir. Not in this league. Not in this league. All right, next on the list here. Contrary to his public statements that it was injury-related, Meyer ordered Robinson's benching after an opening drive fumble in last week's 37-7 road loss to the Rams, then had running backs coach Bernie Parmalee stop Robinson from re-entering the game, insisting Carlos Hyde, who played at Ohio State for Urban Meyer, stayed in. Oh, only after Lawrence questioned Meyer on the sideline about Robinson's absence was Robinson allowed to return late to the second quarter. Nepotism! I guess so. Some sort of nepotism of some way. That Urban saw a guy fumbled the ball. He was like, you're better. You know, if that is the way that you want to coach, fine. Fine, man. Do you. But you put somebody in and he's like, hey, coach, I'm ready to go back in. No. My guy from my school is going to play. Bro, are you kidding me? It is insane. And the fact that so many people have talked about how frustrated they are because of Urban Meyer, like, he's gotta go. And I know Sean Khan, who is the owner of the Jaguars, has said that he's going to think very hardly. He is going to think hard about it. He's going to try and figure out the future of this team, whether Urban's going to go or not. If Urban doesn't get fired, I want to fire him. I want to fire Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is one of the worst pro football head coaches. And the thing is too, Urban, you'll be a god in Ohio or back in the college football game. Maybe you'll be a winner there, as you've been so highly expecting yourself to be a winner. No, buddy. Go back to college. This is not your scene, and people aren't respecting you. And also, I really hope Miss Shelley, your wife, has something to say about all of this as well. She definitely deserves to have something to say about all of this, because you had a college girl's butt in your area at a bar. He has me so mad. And the fact that it's not even just the players, it's the staff. It is all this stuff. So, I'm reading something and there's even more here. In July, the NFL fined the Jaguars $200,000 and Meyer $100,000 for violating rules on organized team activities and docked the team 2 OTA days in 2022. In September, the NFL Players Association announced it was launching an investigation after Meyer acknowledged to reporters that the team factored vaccination status into its cut-down decisions. That's wild! 24 players were cut. 23 of those 24 players were vaccinated. So would that mean that he didn't want vaccinated players on his team? That's insane. Again, there's so much to go in here. I could delve far. Into this. You guys know I could. But that's just the surface. And this Tom Pelissero article is really, really great. And it is just feeds my drama veins, my tea time veins for the NFL. But that is our tea time for this week. Let me know what you guys think about Urban Meyer. I want to know. I want to know what you guys have to say about this, because in my eyes, this man is basura. He is trash. He is just absolute trash. So hopefully he gets fired at the end of the year. I think Trevor Lawrence deserves better, to be quite honest with you. The entire Jaguars organization deserves better. You know what would be incredible? if after all of this, Urban leaves, they get in some other person who just really works with this team, and all of a sudden Trevor Lawrence starts thriving in the way that, like, Mac Jones is thriving with Bill Belichick right now, like, I would love that for him. And it would just prove to everyone that Urban Meyer is garbage. Okay. I won't delve on any more into our tea time. Let's I'll do my week 15 games. I have 3 week 15 games that I am excited about, and then we will go into the playoff picture briefly. So, first things first here is the Packers and Ravens game. I had this written down because of the fact that I think it's going to be very telling for both teams. With Lamar being out possibly, I feel like when the Packers underestimate a team, it gets like a little dicey for them. I think we saw that in week 1. Would be a good exhibit for that. But I still am going to pick the Packers here. Maybe Lamar plays. We have to find out. Someone better let me know ASAP. He is my fantasy quarterback, and my backup is Joe Burrow, which, a transition, Samantha. Fantastic. Is my second game. Bengals at Broncos. I am picking the Bengals to win this game. I think that they played their little hearts out last week to come off of that week before where they lost to the Chargers in a very, very bad fashion. Coming off of another loss where they definitely could have won that game, they're going to go into Denver, which is a hard thing to do. It is not easy to play at Mile High. I think the Bengals are going to put everything they have on the line and win this game because of how tight the AFC North is. I think that is going to be insane. So if the Ravens lose too, they want the Packers to win, which I also would like the Packers to win. By the way, on a totally different note, did you guys see the Aaron Rodgers doppelganger? That man's name is Frank. I found him on Twitter. He is, I think Aaron Rodgers has created him in a lab because of how much he looks like Aaron Rodgers. And he just happens to be a Packers fan. It's fine. So anyway, I digress. So I'm excited for Packers Ravens, and I'm going with the Packers. I'm excited for Bengals Broncos, 2 Bs. Oh my God, there's 2 Bs and there's going to be so much orange. But I am going to go with the Bengals because of how well they played this past week. I think that they really have a lot in them. Joe Burrow needs a win. He deserves a win. And plus, after this whole pinky thing, that's it. And the last game here that I am excited, is that the word? I don't know. Cowboys, Giants. I'm intrigued. There's a good word for that. I'm intrigued at this game. Jake Fromm might be playing for the New York Giants. As you guys know, or as many people know, why was I just going to say Nick Foles? Oh my God. Daniel Jones has a neck injury. And just a short few weeks ago, Joe Judge was like, it's fine. He's fine. He might even play this Sunday. He's fine. He's not fine. My best friend Sarah, as you guys saw last week, she was in my Christmas tier list video. She lives in LA, and I actually was going to go out and go to this game, but obviously circumstances did not allow me to do that. So she was there. She was at the game, and she texted me, and she was like, who's starting for the Giants? And I said, it's Mike Glennon. And she says, where's Danny Dimes? And I said, Danny Dimes has a neck injury. She goes, I'm seeing him on the sideline. He's got a neck brace. And I was like, you're telling me Joe Judge was out here saying, he's fine, he might play. This man's standing on the sidelines in a neck brace, and now Mike Glennon went into concussion protocol, then he came in to play for the Chargers, and then he's just looked absolutely atrocious. I think we should just put in Jake Fromm for funsies. Jake Fromm was like the backup on the Bills, I believe, or in the practice squad for the Bills, and that's where we got him from. Put in Jake Fromm. At this point, like, there's nothing to lose except for a football game. And maybe we, like, really would love to beat the Dallas Cowboys. for division purposes, but I really think the Cowboys are going to come out with a win in this game and in the division overall. I don't want them to. I'd literally rather have Washington win the division. But the Washington football team just lost to the Cowboys in another devastating fashion last year. But I'm going with the Cowboys here. But the Giants, I want to see Jake Fromm. And if Jake Fromm comes out and does like some spectacular, amazing thing, good for him. Like, good for him. So those are the 3 games for week 15 that I'm excited about. And there's our little preview. Finally here, let's go into the NFL playoff picture. Okay, let's see here. Let's start with we'll start with the NFC because the NFC is garbage, as we were just discussing in that Cowboys and Giants game. So here's what we got. In the hunt, the 7 top teams that are in the NFC side. It was the Cardinals, but since the Cardinals just lost to the Rams, they have dropped. The Packers are now at number 1. Big shocker. Number 2, another shocker, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And number 3 is the Arizona Cardinals. Number 4 are the Cowboys. Number 5 is the Rams, who have now shot up since beating the Cardinals. Number 6 is the 49ers, and 7 is Washington. Damn, 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals all from the NFC West in the top 7 seeds is very interesting. And also the fact that there are 2 NFC East teams in here should also be very telling on how trash the NFC is as an entire conference. So the Packers have gone up 1, the Buccaneers have gone up 1, the Cardinals went down 2, Cowboys have stayed the same, Rams have stayed the same, 49ers went up 1 after beating the Bengals, and Washington has gone down 1 since losing to the Cowboys. And we'll look at the little on the bubble teams. The Vikings. The Vikings are the number 8 seed, which is very interesting in my opinion, to be quite honest with you. The top, let's see, 4 on the bubble teams, 8, 9, 10, and 11, which are Viking, Eagles, Falcons, and Saints, are all 6 and 7. This is what I mean when this is one of the closest, closest season in, my lifetime. So we have Vikings, Eagles, Falcons, Saints. The Eagles, I don't even want to talk about the Eagles. The Falcons have been weirdly good. It'll be interesting if they could kind of upset the 49ers coming up and drop them out and they could move back up. And also the same for the Saints. The Saints are playing the Buccaneers in Sunday Night Football. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And then we have 12, 13, 14, and 15 are the Panthers, Seahawks, Giants, and Bears. Somehow are all still in the mix here, which is insane. On the other side of things, we have the AFC, which is a little bit more interesting. And when I tell you, if you told me this back in August that the Patriots would be the number 1 seed right now, I'd be like, oh, come on, no, don't tell me that. And in fact, here we are going into week 15, and the Patriots are the number 1 seed. I want to jump. I'm so angry. Well, they play the Colts, which will be a good matchup here. So we have 1 through 7 here. Are Patriots, Titans, Chiefs, Ravens, Chargers, Colts, and Bills. The Bills should be where the Patriots are. And if you really want to put the Bills in the hunt, the Patriots in the hunt, I would have rather them down at the 7 seed. But if this stays the same and the Patriots have to play the Bills in a game, that'd be freaking wild. Anyway, the Titans, weirdly enough, they feel like they don't belong at number 2, and yet here they are, holding on for dear life. Derrick Henry is supposed to be coming back at some point, so that'll be good for them. The Chiefs have been rising up. They've been looking pretty good. The Ravens are falling down. It'll be interesting, the Thursday Night Football Chiefs-Chargers, because of the fact that the Chiefs are the 3 seed and the Chargers are the 5th seed. And if the Chargers end up beating the Chiefs, that's a big swap. That's a real big swap there. So that'll be definitely a good game. I love this part of the season because of how tight everything is and the fact that there's going to be so many different things that could happen to change, completely change the playoff picture. The Colts are in the up and up, but they're also on the up because they just had a bye. So that's kind of why they're still there. Hopefully, I don't want to see the Colts in the mix here, to be quite honest with you. On the bubble, Browns, Bengals, Broncos, Steelers, Raiders, and Dolphins are at the bottom at 3-10, somehow still in the mix. I could see the Browns, if with all of this COVID stuff going on, I could see the Browns making it into the hunt. I could see that happening for sure. The Bengals as well, hopefully they beat, like the Bengals and the Broncos are the 9 and 10th seed. Another really, you would never think that the Bengals Broncos would be a good game, but going into this week, the Bengals and the Broncos is a really, really good game, which is really crazy. The Steelers going to play the Titans could also be a good upset alert. It's just, this whole playoff picture has looked absolutely insane. I want either the Browns or the Bengals to make it into the hunt somehow. I would think that would be really, really good. So I'd love to see the Browns win. The Browns have thrived in circumstances like this. We saw the Browns obliterate the Steelers in the first round of the playoffs last year as Kevin Stefanski sat in his basement and like coached from afar kind of because he had COVID. And they thrived. They absolutely thrived, but they still had Baker Mayfield. So I don't know if things are going to be a little different, but Case Keenum will be coming in. I don't know. Maybe the Browns can still hold on. I hope they could. I'd love to see the Browns in the playoffs again. And that is basically the playoff picture. So that's what's going on in the NFL right now. I'm really happy that I was able to sit down and finally get some content out for you guys. I'm glad I was able to hit a lot of different things here. Because there's so much going on, not only in the NFL, but in my life. Just finding time to sit down and do this. I mean, as you can see, I didn't even like prepare my body, prepare my face, prepare my hair for this. But I appreciate all of you guys, and I'm going to try and do this again next week and get you an episode recapping week 15, looking into week 16. We're coming down to the wire here, people. And we have an extra week of football, but it's still... It's getting down there. We're almost done, which is insane. I feel like we just started. But anyway, guys, I just want to thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate everybody who has been reaching out to me on social media about everything that's going on in my hectic life and kind of telling me that everything is awesome and that I'm awesome and that everything is good. So I appreciate everyone. Again, if you want to find a unique gift for your sports lover in your life, I highly recommend getting Team Click sunglasses. Again, sunglasses, blue light blockers, prescription glasses. You can rep your team. You can get several different pairs of arms so that you can rep whatever team you'd like on whatever day you'd like, and it's so easy. They just click right back into place. Again, go to teamclicks.com/TGWTS and use code last chance at checkout before Friday the 17th to get 30% off of your purchase. Don't forget to subscribe on all podcasting platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on social media at TGWTS Podcast on Twitter and The Girl Who Talks Sports on Instagram and TikTok. I hope you all have a fun, fantastic, sports-filled day. And I will see you guys all next week. Hopefully, I will let you know for week 16. Bye!